Welcome back to another day of picks with the Burrito Gambler. Just a little recap of yesterday. We went 2-1 for plus 1.25 units. We hit the first period under between the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues. And then we hit the Kings and Timberwolves under 238. Baylor plus 4 just missed out. They lost by 5. They just had a couple times in the first half where their scoring was non-existent. They went 3 to 4 minutes without scoring. And Texas shot over 50% from the field in the first half, which is not really what we expected. And then, every time Baylor kind of crept closer and closer, Texas would just, get a big stop or get a big bucket to kind of extend that lead. So, unfortunately, Baylor plus 4 missed, and we missed out on the sweep, but 2-1, still a great first day. So, without further ado, we're going to get into today's picks. First pick we have is Kansas State plus 8.5. We got a Big 12 matchup again tonight in Allen Fieldhouse between the Jayhawks and the Wildcats. This year, Kansas State 16-5 against the spread. Pretty good numbers there. They've been rolling as of late. 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. So I like them to continue to play well. Kansas this year only 8-13 against the spread. Obviously they're a good team, but like I said yesterday, good teams win, great teams cover. Kansas is winning this year, but not necessarily covering. This number is pretty big, 8.5 for a top 10 matchup, which kind of scares me. But it's a rivalry game. It's a battle for Kansas. They've already played each other. The teams know each other. Games like this don't tend to be blowouts that often, and 8.5 points is pretty good amount of points. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with the better ATS team, with the team who is playing arguably better than anybody in the country right now, in Kansas State. So first play is going to be Kansas State plus 8.5, and that's minus 110. Second play we've got today, we're going to go over to the NBA. We've got Clippers minus 2.5. They're on the road in Chicago tonight. Two solid, middle of the pack teams right now, standing wise. But the Clippers this season are slightly better against the spread on the road this season. Not much more, but their record is a little better when they're on the road against the spread this season. Also, PG and Kawhi are kind of bouncing in and out of the lineup, trying to make sure that they're fresh and ready for playoffs, taking that load management. The past 3 seasons, including this year, with PG and Leonard, the Clippers are 70-32. Over double the amount of wins that they have losses. So, obviously, it's a given, but they're hands down way better when those two stars are on the floor. Lastly, Clippers score nearly 6 more points per game while they're on the road versus they're at home. On the road, they average 113.5 points. When they're at home, it's only 107.6. So nearly 6 more points what we're getting on the roads. I couldn't tell you why. It just is. So, Clippers are better against the spread on the road. They score more points. PG and Kawhi are back. This play, it just screams Clippers to me. The Bulls are kind of an inconsistent team. You really don't know what you're going to get from them. But so I feel like the Clippers is a safer play here. And, the stats back it up. They play better on the road. So second play of the day is going to be Clippers minus 2.5. And those odds are, again, minus 110. Last play for the day. is going to be TCU -1.5 at home against the West Virginia Mountaineers. Mountain Mama. Some numbers. TCU better against the spread all season versus West Virginia. TCU this season 12-8-1 against the spread this season, and West Virginia 10-11. So, easily better numbers. They're covering a lot more often than Virginia does at home. TCU pretty good on their own home court. 10-2 at home this season. So they're back there again tonight. So I like them to get that crowd involved and bring home a W today. Last stat we've got, TCU in their last following their last 5 losses are 5-0 against the spread. Why not make it 6 tonight, Horned Frogs? Why not? And then lastly, these teams have already played this year at West Virginia. West Virginia won that game by, I believe, 9 points. So, as we always say, it's tough to beat a team twice, especially a team that's as good as TCU. So I do realize they're playing without Mike Miles tonight and possibly Eddie Lampkin, but they also have been playing a couple games without those 2 guys. So I believe, guys are starting to find their roles, figuring out where they have to fill in until those two guys get back. Because those 2 guys are obviously big pieces of the Horned Frog basketball team. But like I said, I think guys are starting to figure out, okay, with Miles and Lampkin on the floor, I was doing this, but since they're not here, I've got to do this to help this team win ball games. So last play of the day is TCU -1.5. And those odds are also -110. So we've got 3 plays today. Again, Kansas State +8.5, -110. Clippers -2.5, also -110. And the Horned Frogs of TCU -1.5 tonight, also -110. Best of luck if you're tailing or fading, and let's get some cash.